So the new Bose and Wilkins PX7 S2s are mainly just a cosmetic upgrade from the PX7s. The PX7 S2s look better, they feel better, and they fit better too. Now personally, I enjoy the PX7 S2s and their more premium build quality and elegant design, but they certainly aren't perfect and they definitely aren't for everyone. But today we're going to compare the PX7 S2s to both the Bose NC 700s and the Bose QC45s, two very popular pairs of ANC headphones that are very popular for traveling. Now first, there's price. The PX7 S2s have a retail price of $400. Now the NC 700s also used to have a retail price of $400 when they first came out, but they now have a retail price of $380 and they like to go on sale for $300 on a regular basis, probably because they're on their way out. These things came out in the summer of 2019, so these are due for an upgrade. But then there are the Bose QC45s, which came out in the fall of 2021, and these have a retail price of $330, but they like to go on sale for $280. And as a disclaimer, these are currently my favorite ANC headphones for traveling. Nonetheless, if you want to pick any of these headphones up, they'll be linked down below, or you can press on the YouTube shopping button. Give it a try. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch shelf down below. I've made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I can be very particular. So I'll only set my name on something that I'm really proud of. Now first, let's talk about these cases. Now the PX7 S2s come included with a very premium feeling case. It is very stiff, so they're going to protect your headphones. They've got a great feeling fabric outside, and on the inside, the velvet is very soft. Overall, I like this case. However, the PX7 S2's case is a little on the larger side, so these aren't as convenient to travel with when compared to Bose's headphones, because Bose's cases are noticeably smaller than the PX7 S2's. But without a doubt, the QC45s have the smallest case here, making them super convenient to travel with. However, this case isn't as stiff as the PX7 S2's case, and it doesn't feel as premium either, but it definitely gets the job done. But now let's talk about the headphones themselves. One of the standout characteristics about the PX7 S2s is simply their build quality. The S2s have these fabric wrapped touch surfaces on both the ear cups and headband, which feel very nice. We've got these exposed brushed metal arms on the headband, and we've got some very supple feeling leatherette on both the ear pads and headband that also have a very nice grain to it. Overall, the PX7 S2s feel very sturdy both in your hands and on your head. But then there are Bose's headphones. With the NC 700s, they've got an exposed metal headband that is wrapped with a super padded silicone. The ear cups are mostly made out of plastic, and we've got some great feeling leatherette on the ear pads as well. But then there are the Bose QC45s, which have plastic on both the ear cups and headband, and we've also got great feeling leatherette on both the ear pads and headband. Overall, all of these headphones have good build quality, but the PX7 S2s are using finer materials and they feel much sturdier. However, when it comes to design, the QC45s look like your conventional pair of headphones. These are rather inconspicuous. Whereas with the NC 700s, their design calls a little more attention because of their very thin and bulbous headband. But then there are the PX7 S2s, which I feel call the most attention here because of their material choices and because of the ways the arms on their headband bend. Overall, I think the PX7 S2s are an elegant looking pair of headphones, whereas the QC45s are super subtle. But when it comes to fit, the Bose QC45s are the clear winner here, and for multiple reasons. First off, there's weight. The QC45s are the lightest headphones here, weighing in at 234 grams, which is rather lightweight. Whereas the Bose NC 700s weigh in at 274 grams, which is rather standard. But then there are the PX7 S2s, which weigh in at 307 grams. Now, the PX7 S2s aren't super heavy, like let's say the AirPod Max, which weigh in at 384 grams, so they don't get super uncomfortable. But with the PX7 S2s, these are a pair of headphones that you never really forget that you're wearing, and you're definitely going to feel them shifting around while you're walking around with them on. Whereas with the Bose QC45s, these are a pair of headphones that you can forget that you're wearing, which contributes to their overall comfort. But also, with the Bose QC45s, these headphones have the loosest fit here, which is great if you have a big head and or if you like to wear hats. Now, the PX7 S2s are also big head approved because I can wear these headphones for hours on end without any problems, but they do have a noticeably firmer fit to them. And then there are the NC700s. They don't fit anywhere near as snug as the PX7 S2s, but they aren't as loose as the QC45s. But finally, there are the earpads on these headphones. Now, all of these headphones have very spacious earpads that should have no problem accommodating most ear types. However, both of Bose's headphones are more spacious than the PX7 S2's earpads. But the crucial difference here is surface area. The earpads on both of Bose's headphones have less surface area coming in contact with your skin than the earpads on the PX7 S2s. So with both of Bose's earpads, these earpads do a better job of staying cooler for longer than the earpads on the PX7 S2s. Now, I'm not saying that the PX7 S2s have an overheating problem, but Bose's headphones stay cooler for longer, which again contributes to their overall comfort. Overall, the Bose QC45s are the most comfortable headphones here because they're the lightest, they have the loosest fit here, they have the most spacious earpads here, and they stay cool for a long time. However, the PX7 S2s are the most premium feeling and most elegant headphones here, and for some people that matters. And at the end of the day, they aren't the most uncomfortable headphones out there. But now let's talk about tech specs. Regarding battery life, this is an area where the PX7 S2s easily outperform both of Bose's headphones. The PX7 S2s have an advertised battery life of 30 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on, which is a little above average for mid-2022, and you can always extend their battery life by using them with their active noise cancellation turned off. But then there are the Bose NC700s, which have an advertised battery life of 20 hours with their active noise cancellation turned on. Now, don't get me wrong, a battery life of 20 hours is definitely doable, but it is a little below average for a pair of premium ANC headphones in 2022. However, you can always extend the battery life on the NC700s if you use them with their active noise cancellation turned off. And finally, there are the Bose QC45s, which do a little better than the NC700s because they have an advertised battery life of 24 hours with the active noise cancellation turned on, which is average for a pair of ANC headphones in 2022. However, with the QC45s, you can't use them with their ANC completely turned off. You either have to have their ANC turned on or have their ambient mode turned on. But with the QC45s, you can't extend their battery life by using them with their ANC completely turned off. Regarding connectivity, all of these headphones can be connected to two devices at the same time, which is good if you're a power user. And when it comes to overall performance, all of these headphones have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. And when it comes to audio codecs, both of Bose's headphones only have support for SBC and AAC. Now, AAC is going to work perfectly fine whether if you're an iPhone user or an Android user. However, the PX7 S2s do have support for higher quality audio codecs. Now, the PX7 S2s have support for SBC and AAC, just like Bose, but they also have support for aptX, aptX HD, and aptX Adaptive. However, just keep in mind, if you want to take advantage of aptX, you do have to be an Android user because iPhones top out at AAC. But if you want to, you can always use any of these headphones with a wired connection. Now, with both of Bose's headphones, if you want to use them with a wired connection, you can only use their 2.5mm audio jacks. Whereas with the PX7 S2s, they don't have an audio jack. However, you can use their USB-C port as a wired connection. Now, you can either use a USB-C to USB-C cable, or you can use their USB-C to audio jack cable. And unlike the AirPod Max, this cable does come included with the PX7 S2s. So this is why I'm not upset that the PX7 S2s don't have an audio jack. But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these headphones. Now, all of these headphones are mainly geared towards someone who likes a more neutral or vocals-focused EQ, because none of these headphones have a whole lot of physicality in their bass that's going to right to your head, like let's say the Sony 1000 XM4s, AirPod Max, or Sennheiser Momentum 3s. The bass on these headphones is mostly on the audible side. However, if you were to go in and raise the bass on the PX7 S2s, they will rattle your head somewhat. They're not going to rattle your head as much as the other headphones that I just mentioned, but at least it's something. And anything past 2 decibels on the bass slider on the PX7 S2s is going to rattle your head way more than either of Bose's headphones if you have their bass set to 10. But bass aside, where all of these headphones shine is when it comes to their instrument separation. However, the PX7 S2s sound much more open than either of these 2 Bose headphones. Specifically, with the PX7 S2s, the lows and mid-lows have much better detail to them, allowing the instrumentals to breathe better when the vocals really get going. Whereas with both of Bose's headphones, they have more of an emphasis on the mids and treble. So when the mids really get going on Bose's headphones, those instrumentals do seem to get lost when compared to the PX7 S2s. Simply put, the PX7 S2s sound much better than the Bose because they have better instrument separation. But also, the PX7 S2s are more flexible than Bose's headphones, because if you want some physicality in your bass, then they can provide enough bass if you're someone that likes a more neutral EQ. Whereas with Bose's headphones, if your taste change and you want to feel your bass, then you're gonna have a much harder time adapting to you. Now, when it comes to controlling your media, the NC700s are using a touchpad. Now, this touchpad is fairly accurate, but it is rather small and sometimes it does miss inputs. Whereas with these other 2 headphones, they're using physical buttons, and this alone could be a deciding factor for some people, because some people just don't want to have to deal with touchpads on their headphones. However, something that the PX7 S2s have that these other 2 Bose headphones don't are wear sensors. So if you were to take these headphones off, they'll automatically pause your music, and then when you put them back on, they'll start playing your music again. However, the problem with these wear sensors is that, number one, they are rather slow to react when compared to other headphones out there that have wear sensors. But also, I've noticed that with these wear sensors, they will randomly pause my music even if I'm just sitting still. Now, I've already tried using the different sensitivity levels for these wear sensors, but I'm still having this issue. But I do hope that Bose and Wilkins will fix this issue through a firmware update, because this has been a known issue for Bose and Wilkins headphones in the past. But now let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these headphones. Now, overall, the PX7 S2s block out a decent amount of noise for a pair of premium ANC headphones. However, both of Bose's headphones have better ANC than the PX7 S2s. They both block out more noise and with less cabin pressure. But so that you can see for yourself, we're going to jump into an ANC test. So, like you may have just seen, the PX7 S2s block out a decent amount of noise, but the NC700s block out a little more noise. But more importantly, the NC700s block out a little more noise than the PX7 S2s, and they do so with a little less cabin pressure, which is going to contribute to their overall comfort. But then there are the Bose QC45s, which are currently my favorite ANC headphones to recommend if you plan on traveling a lot. Thanks to a firmware update that they got earlier this year, they got a measurable improvement to their ANC. And like you may have just seen, the QC45s block out noticeably more noise than the PX7 S2s and NC700s. And they do so with less cabin pressure as well. Now, the Bose QC45s don't block out as much noise as the Sony 1000 XM5s, which are currently the king when it comes to ANC, but they still block out a lot of noise. And personally, I think the QC45s have a really good amount of noise blocked to cabin pressure ratio, because these also have noticeably less cabin pressure than the XM5s. Overall, what I'm trying to say is, if you're planning on traveling a lot with your headphones and you want to block out a lot of noise, then the Bose QC45s are the way to go here because they block out the most amount of noise here and with a whole lot of less cabin pressure. But now let's talk about the ambient modes on these headphones. Now, all of these headphones have a decent sounding ambient mode. However, with both the PX7 S2s and QC45s, you can't adjust it to your liking like you can with the NC700s. Now overall, the ambient mode on these other two headphones is fine and it gets the job done, but the customization option on the NC700s is nice. However, something that the NC700s have that these other two headphones don't is a conversation mode, where they will quickly lower the volume of your music and pump in all of the ambient sound around you, so that you can quickly talk to someone without having to remove your headphones, like this. And then when you press any button, they'll go back to normal. Now, if you're a constant flyer or commuter, this feature is very useful, and I really wish both the Bose QC45s and PX7 S2s had this feature because it is sorely missing, and they can easily get added through a firmware update. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, even though the microphone on the Bose QC45s is decent, it is the worst performing microphone here, and I do sound a little shallow. Whereas the Bose NC700s have a little bit better clarity to them. But then there are the Bose Wilkins PX7 S2s, which have better clarity to them. But where the Bose Wilkins PX7 S2s really shine is when it comes to blocking out noise pollution, because right now the PX7 S2s are doing a really good job of blocking out this road noise while still keeping my voice front and center. Because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the PX7 S2s, it is severely reduced. Now, the Bose NC700s are also trying to block out this road noise, but they are letting in more noise pollution and they are interfering with my voice. And then there are the Bose QC45s, which are letting in even more road noise. And the same thing can be said when it comes to blocking out chatter. The Bose QC45s are letting in a decent amount of noise pollution here. And then with the Bose NC700s, even though they are trying to block out this chatter, there is a noticeable amount of interference going on with my voice. Whereas with the PX7 S2s, these are doing a much better job of blocking out this chatter and they're not interfering with my voice as much. So overall, I am going to have to say that the Bose & Wilkins PX7 S2s have the best performing microphone here. But with all that being said, the Bose Wilkins PX7 S2s aren't for everyone, and they aren't the most feature-packed headphones out there. And if active noise cancellation is your top priority, then you might want to look elsewhere. However, the PX7 S2s offer a very premium build quality, and their elegance is going to make them stand out. Plus, these headphones offer incredible instrument separation, and if you want, you can raise the bass on these a little bit and get a fun listening experience out of them. But when compared to either the Bose NC700s or Bose QC45s, the PX7 S2s aren't my top pick if you're planning on traveling a lot with your headphones. Instead, I would recommend the Bose QC45s. The Bose QC45s are way more comfortable to wear for multiple hours on end because of their lighter weight, looser fit, and more spacious and cooler earpads.
Plus, they also have a much smaller case, which is super convenient. But more importantly, the Bose QC45s block out a ton of noise, and they do so with very little cabin pressure. As of mid-2022, the Bose QC45s are my number 3 ANC headphones, behind only the AirPod Max and Sony 1000 XM5s. But then there are the Bose NC 700s. Personally, I wouldn't recommend that you get them right now, because the Bose QC45s outperform them where it matters most: ANC, battery life, and fit. But I am really looking forward to the Bose NC 702s, which I imagine aren't too far off. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.